Well, this vision is a stretch vision, if you will. It's not something that will just happen on its own. And it's not something that could always have been the case. There were times when I don't think there was enough confidence among cooperatives that could actually be a legitimate statement, that we could become the fastest growing model of enterprise. But today you can see how that could happen. There's a palpable sense of change, the need for change in the world. And we're actually seeing more forms of enterprise being considered. We're seeing a more robust diversity of organizational forms. And we're seeing cooperatives rise as a result of that. And yes, if we actually work together and are very strategic on how we go about this, and we have a little luck, we could become, by the end of this decade, the fastest growing form of enterprise in the world. And ICA has a blueprint for a cooperative decade that is intended to do just that. The concept of the blueprint is that we want to pivot now from an international year of cooperatives to a cooperative decade. We want to see these first 2 years of this decade, the preparation for the international year, and now 2012, the year itself, as the beginning of a decade that will have seen by its end a period of remarkable cooperative growth. And the blueprint identifies 5 areas where we need to see game-changing strategies for that vision to come true. That vision of becoming the fastest growing form of enterprise by the end of the decade won't just come about on its own. So we asked ourselves, what would have to change? Why hasn't this happened already? Why isn't that true today? What would we have to do for that to be true? And we've identified 5 areas where if we could make significant progress, then we could see that vision. The areas that the blueprint is focused on are first participation and sustainability. And these 2 areas are, we believe, differentiators for cooperatives. That is, participation, member engagement, is a defining characteristic of a cooperative. We believe that the cooperative is the most participatory model of enterprise in the world when it works at its best. And we think that's a very strong message today because people want to have a voice. They want to have influence over the models of business and social activities that shape their lives. So participation is a differentiator. The second one, sustainability, is also a differentiator. We hear about being in a post-growth economy and that we have to give up on growth. And if you're looking at economic growth alone, and you're looking globally, it certainly is a challenging time. But if you're looking at a sustainable model, a model that values environmental sustainability, social sustainability, economic sustainability, the cooperative model does that. It balances those. And so that's the second differentiator. So those are 2 of the 5. Identity is another one. We need to be certain on our identity, clear on it, projecting the right image of the cooperative, and having a strong media strategy for doing that. And then the last 2 deal with the environment that we need, the conditions that we need for cooperatives to prosper. And one of those is legal frameworks, having the right regulatory and legislative framework. And the other one is capital, having capital, access to capital that allows cooperatives to grow without undermining what it is that makes us unique and successful, without undermining our values. We're at the point now where we have the areas identified where we need to work. We have some examples of these game-changing strategies. And in the area of identity, there is this intriguing idea that perhaps there could be a shared image among cooperatives. The International Year of Cooperatives logo has really captured the imagination of a lot of people who saw how the cooperatives came together around the world because you could share a common image without necessarily having to publish all 7 principles and all the details of those where you lose people. And have this graphic identity that would eventually, over time, say to people, this is a cooperative, this is an organization that has the kind of values that I want to be associated with. This is an organization that is participatory, that is sustainable, and I want to be associated with that. So that is one of the questions the blueprint raises is, should we build on the International Year success and the success in the adoption and pickup and the embrace of that logo by creating a new logo, a new emblem that cooperatives would use in many of the same ways that we use the International Year logo?